Next, I want to introduce you to Social Studio. Social Studio is Salesforce's offering in the social suite of products, although it approaches social a little differently than many of the other tools in the marketplace today. The four pillars of Social Studio are listening, publishing, engaging, and integration. Now, listening for many people really is a term we would maybe dispute the definition of. For most people, when they're talking about listening, what they're talking about is the ability to reply to conversations that are happening on your own social media channels, such as a post on your Facebook wall or an app mention on Twitter. For us, listening is much bigger than that. Listening is the ability to search the social web for conversations that are happening that you happen to care about, regardless of whether or not you've been mentioned in those conversations. Publishing, of course, is the ability to push content out from your social accounts in a unified calendar view where you can share notes and collaborate and set permissions and approvals. And engagement, of course, is the social component of social where you're actually conversing. Now, what's so powerful about the Social Studio platform is that listening, publishing, and engagement all can connect to each other, meaning that you can actually use listening to find areas of focus or areas of interest. Then you can join those conversations. So if your organization is listening for some sort of research project that one of the faculty is doing, you can track conversations about that research project, that industry or that project. You can then join those conversations and share the content being produced by your university with the people having those conversations. So listening and engagement really go hand in hand, and then that knowledge, what's actually getting feedback and creating shares, likes, engagement, etc., it informs your publishing strategy as well. So it's a really symbiotic relationship between the different practices in Social Studio. And of course, what separates our solution really from everything else beyond just the scope of our listening is the integration. When we think about social standalone solutions, what they're able to do is validate their effectiveness with social data alone. So you might say, I'm going to publish with this tool, I'm then going to monitor the responses to that tool, and I'm going to look for our engagement. And look, our engagement score went up. Now, of course, we're able to do all of those things as well. But the definition of success in that example, where it's a standalone tool, is merely whether or not your social metrics improve. Well, with integration being our fourth pillar in Social Studio, we have the ability to take the information from social, bring it back into the CRM so that we have a broader and more complete context into who that person is. Social is not the sum of all your relationships. Social is a component of your relationships. Just like the emails and text messages that people are receiving from the Marketing Cloud, what they do with those messages, if they open or click, etc., better informs your knowledge of them. In the same way, what people are tweeting about or talking about on social networks, it better informs your knowledge of that student or alum as well. So integration is the ability to tie back social data to the CRM so that you have a more complete picture of who that person is and what they care about. And it's absolutely vital if social is going to be worked into a campus-wide communication strategy.